guys. Okay, today I'm going to install a garage door opener. So it looks like I had the GoPro that just gave it up. It's not working anymore, so I'm going back on the phone and restarting. So the box I just opened that a few minutes ago. This is pre-wired for the two sensors. This is pre-wired for the remote. That's how it was for the third bay garage door. So just need to mount that. I took a cheap one at the first home improvement store. This is a chain driven. Here's the chain, the rail, the power box, and we have all the hardwares and a couple of brackets. So let's put that together. That's first time for me. It will certainly be the first time for you. It should not be complicated, just time consuming. Here's a little remote. Very cute one and very discreet, which is actually better. Here we go, that's the most important part of the door, is the remote. That's a nice cute one. So again, there is no advertisement for the type or the brand of garage door. Okay, this is not a promotion at all. Just few tips on how to do that. And certainly what not to do as well. Certainly run into some issues, but it should not be too complicated. So first of all, you have instructions. I will follow the instructions. Saying, okay, take the orange bag of hardware, which is right here, and start putting the railing together. So let's put that. So if your sensors are not pre-wired, they provided 90 feet of wiring, which is plenty enough to install the sensors. I won't need that. They're already pre-installed and just need to be terminated. Okay, open the bag. Try to keep everything in the same spot so I don't lose any hardware. That should be, we have 2 pins, 2 clips. I need one of them for the pulley. There we go. Okay, now that it's in place, and if you're touching one of the similar ones, just be careful. You have on the sliders over there and slider over there, you have a arrow indicating the door side to make sure you put it at the right position on the railing. And that door side is facing, of course, the door over there, and that's where the pulley is, on the other side of that railing. On that side, now what we're going to do is attach that to the power head. So at this point, I'll keep that in a box. Let's keep that nice and flush so we're not damaging or scratching the make sure I'm putting that the correct way. Little bracket. So then we need to secure that bracket and that one to the power head, which will keep that in one piece. The tension You hold the chain tight on both hands, right here, and just spin that, however they call that, the turnbuckle. Turn it with both hands at the same time with your thumb and index until you get some tension. Put it in the air, elevated, flat, and check the belt. It should be a quarter of an inch from the bottom, at the lowest point, from the bottom of your railing. Then you have the proper tension, then tighten the two lock nuts, and you're good. So now let's find the proper way. Those are the 4 screws. And that's a 7/16 as well. So I'll use that one. Okay, so when you open the door, here we go, approximately right here will be the highest point. So make sure you measure 2.5 inches above that the top of the door, and that's where you would attach the bracket on the wall. Okay, so first I double check the center of the door. 49.5, so that bracket is properly centered. Just one. Just want to double check and not to assume that bracket is perfectly centered. This is a 96 inches wide, this is 48 limit. So this is the middle of the door. So I put a slight mark on the wall. And now I need to measure the highest point, add 2.5 inches and mark the location where that bracket will be installed. So the best is use a level, make sure you're properly level and mark the wall. This is not the best configuration because I need to be on the other side. No clue of my alignment, so I will do that off camera. I need another. So what you can do, since the access is not easy, you don't really see where you're lining up. What I will do, choose the highest point. Should be right here, because you're not within a quarter of a millimeter, you see, and I'm going to directly mark a line on the door and make a mark right here. Then I can measure from the ceiling to that mark, which is 8 3/4. I will subtract 2.5 inches, which will be 6 1/4. 6 1/4 from the ceiling will be 2.5 inches above the highest point of the door. And that should be a lot easier like that. So we said 6 1/4. 6 1/4 is right here. Okay, that will be the mark where I would attach the bracket right here. So again, 2.5 inches above the highest point. The highest point is approximately, obviously, right here. Put the bracket right here. This is 6 1/4 from the ceiling when I measure on the other side. So that's, to me, the easiest way to proceed. Okay, so you see where I marked and centered location of the bracket, that's the mounting bracket. Okay, your line need to make sure it's perfectly centered with your lines. Actually, okay, you see the cross I made here to center the mounting bracket. Mounting bracket will be centered as is. Here we go. I got the lines crossing into those 4 holes. I know it's perfectly centered. What I did, you need to make sure you're either tapping in a 2x4, 2x6, however your house is made, behind the drywall. Luckily, I got a header going all the way across. What I did is I used a very tiny drill bit, 1/16, and I drilled several holes along that line to make sure I have something behind the drywall, and I have it. So what I'm going to do now, place the bracket, make sure it's properly centered, mark those 2 locations for the 2 lag screws. Okay, this is right here. And what I'm going to do is use a drill bit 5/32. Perfect. So now we just need to attach the end of the railing here, support the power box elevated on a step ladder or whatever you can use for that, and then secure that on the wall. Then mechanically we're pretty much done. After, we just need to install the bracket directly to the rest of the assembly, and then the mechanical part is done. See, I have the power box right here. Going up, put the cotter pin and the pin into the bracket, attaching the railing system of the entire assembly. You can have much more angle, so if you have a lower point, that's still okay. Just make sure it's not falling down. And now, this ceiling here, I just need to elevate that, measure that properly. Now I just need to elevate that, make sure it's properly leveled compared to the ceiling. Attach that, secure that with a bracket, and then mechanically we're done pretty much. Okay, so I just measured from the wall over there to the middle of the rail system. Same thing here, and I marked 56.25 for me. Marked it so I can align the center of the assembly and make sure I'm spot on, which would be exactly here. With that one center of the bracket. I mark the outside, just mark the outside of the bracket. I'm gonna put like 2 lines on both sides, just to remember approximately. Hoopla. You don't want to follow with that. Just want to mark approximately where my 2x4 is going to be. So I had to trim those brackets. It came with 2 brackets like that. I cut 1 in 2. I have to trim that some more. Adjust that, and then I'm gonna screw that into my 2x4, and it will bend the end of the rail, which is not an issue at all, and it will be properly secured. So the kit is assuming that you have joist going along, which you never see that anymore except in 1950s houses. So you have to micmac the bracket or get some other bracket. So anyway, we'll do that. We'll add the 2x4, and then we just need to secure that, and mechanically we're pretty close to. So let's do that. And we can see the seam already. See some mark of screws for the drywall here. So I got a line right here, I got a line right here, so I got two 2x4, so that one is going to be the exact length. It's perfect. I have to place that in between my lines, align it right here basically and secure that, and then I should be good. Adjusted the angle of the bracket. I measured that spacing compared to the other one, the gap in between the ceiling and the rail. So they're saying you're supposed to be parallel to the floor, makes sense. Floor is a little bit further down. I'm guessing that the ceiling should be pretty much level. So what I'm going to do, I'm going to attach a pre-screw somehow here. The one want to stay in place, here we go. That will be enough to release the weight. Right on. So all good. It's a good 5 1/4 right here, 5 1/4 over there. So it should be pretty much level. We will install that bracket. So I need one clevis pin and one cotter pin. Put the upper portion right here in that puller. Right there. So I got a couple of different positions. So about 30-degree angle compared to the wall, which looks like it's right where I'm at. So then we can attach the two brackets together. There we go. So make sure I got everything tight and secured after. And then you have the brackets that will go. You have a couple of options right here. Looks like will be the one. I'm a little bit too shy on the angle. Right there. I need to be between 20 and 30 of angle, 30 maximum. Looks like I'm good, and I should be at a good 20 degrees, so I need to use the upper position. If I use the lower position, I'm way too steep on that one. This is the lowest I can go, actually. Okay, I got a nice angle now, and I can use the bottom option. I'd rather use the bottom option. I'm not drilling anything in the panel. I'm going in directly into that hollow shape, and I'd rather do that. Okay. Just want to put it loose for now. I want to put the 3 of them. Self-tapping screws. Okay, here we go. Quick review. Bracket in the wall with those self-tapping screws. Could have gone in the upper position. That I had a better angle. And then make sure I secure that as well. Clevis pin, cotter pin. Bracket in the wall. See that the one with the pulley as well. the emergency put right here. Chain mechanism. And then it's going to the power box, on which I will need to add the bulb and the back cover and plug it. So we're looking pretty good. So now I'm going to get it tested, and then I will attach the sensors as well. Okay, so it's been pre-wired, just need to be terminated. So I'm not done yet, but it should work without the sensors. So what I want to do is I'm still waiting to trim those two brackets a little bit shorter so it looks nice and clean. I will get that painted in white so it kind of blend with the ceiling. So now let's see if we get a good surprise. The remote. Set program plus or minus. Just want to. Turns on. It runs. Okay, now we're gonna mount the photocells. Two wires need to be connected on the back. Needs to be placed about 5-6 inches above the ground level, or it can be floor mounted as well. I will mount that on the wall as such as that. And then you need to run the wire along, unless it's pre-wired, like I said mine is. Okay, remember that the unit is not powered. There we go, this is properly aligned and centered. Now we just need to mount the other one. We can tuck that one further in to your taste, so you get the least amount outside. There we go. Nice and clean, ready. Place that at the top of it 6 inches. I will do the same on the other side. Here we go. So just the pre-wired assembly or whatever is a mess. I don't know exactly what's going on. I got some loop in the wires, so I was unable to make it work. So what I did temporarily is I hardwired, I direct wired the switch directly to the box. One of the sensors I was able to wire that, so it's very temporary. That's not a final product. That was just to test the door. I wired the right sensor directly with the installed line. It worked. For the left one, which we see right here, I put a temporary wire. The other one is not working. I don't know what's going on, so I need to check and go above the ceiling and check the wires. But anyway, I did that. I did set up the up and down position, which is very easy. You maintain the minus sign or down sign. Press and hold until you have the blue LED, and then you press again all the way to the down position. Once you're at the down position, press on program and release immediately. It will register the down position. Same for the up position, and then press on the switch. Very nice and quiet. It's opening. What a pleasure. So I just need to finalize the wiring and the remote. there we go. It's nice and working. Hey guys, hope you liked it. Smash the like button. And if you want to install a garage door, it's a piece of cake. I took all my time because there is no point to rush. You have to enjoy enough pleasure to do home improvement projects. But it can literally be done in a couple of hours. I spent a lot more today, about 4 or 5 hours, but just wanted to do that nice and clean the garage before, and I had to set up everything for the video as well. Okay, you guys enjoy.